6:01 on this Friday. Good morning to you. The Victoria Long Weekend is officially here, marking the unofficial start of the summer travel season. Many British Columbians will be hitting the road to get out of town, and the border crossings are bracing for a very busy couple of days. Last year, more than 105,000 vehicles crossed into Canada at the 5 lower mainland border crossings during the long weekend. 37,000 of those vehicles at the Douglas Peace Arch border crossing alone. U.S. border agents expect about 8,000 vehicles will cross at the Peace Arch tomorrow. That's double the normal amount of traffic. They recommend checking border wait times, ideally hitting the road before 7 a.m. if you're heading south, and crossing back into Canada before 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon.
So if people want to plan to come back a little bit earlier in the morning or even earlier in the afternoon, that can spread out the border delays. And we also recommend that they use our border crossings that are more to the east of us, so the Pacific Highway crossing, the Linden-Abbotsford crossing, and the Sumas-Huntington crossing.
A heads up if you're using BC Ferries this May long weekend. A travel advisory is up as the corporation is bracing for a very busy couple of days. The company is expecting high volumes through Tuesday on the main routes, including Tsawwassen to Swartz Bay, Horseshoe Bay to Nanaimo, as well as Horseshoe Bay to Langdale. The holiday Monday is shaping up to be the busiest of them all, with what BC Ferries is calling very heavy traffic. There's an extra sailing at 6 o'clock on Tuesday morning out of Swartz Bay to pick up any remaining slack. Catching a cab is going to be harder than usual in downtown Vancouver tomorrow. More than 14,000 people are expected around Canada Place and Ballantyne Pier on Saturday, boarding and disembarking cruise ships. Traffic will be busy downtown as well. A number of closures are planned Saturday afternoon for the National Bicycle Tour of Canadian Olympian Clara Hughes. Just in time for the May long weekend, Vancouver's 3 seaside outdoor pools are back up and running for business tomorrow. The heated pools at Second Beach and Stanley Park and New Brighton Park open at 10 a.m., while the pool at Kitts Beach opens at 9 a.m. Lifeguards and park rangers will also be reporting for duty at the pools as well as at the city's 11 swimming beaches. Also opening this weekend is the long-awaited Sea to Sky gondola in Squamish. 5 years in the making, the $25 million project takes its first passengers today. There's a ribbon cutting planned for 10 a.m., followed by the maiden voyage up the mountain about an hour later. Once you get to the top, you'll find a 9,000 square foot lodge, which includes a restaurant, a coffee shop, and a gift shop. A 6,000 square foot observation deck provides views of Howe Sound and the surrounding mountains. Well, it was supposed to bring a decade of labor peace to BC schools, but the government has shortened its vision for a new teacher's contract. The province has backed away from its desire for a 10-year deal, saying it's making a 6-year offer instead. The government is also floating the idea of a signing bonus if teachers agree to a deal before the end of the school year. The two sides have made little progress in bargaining, with teachers pulling themselves from non-classroom duties.
That's a start, and we welcome that. And we're hoping that they'll also be coming to the table with revised proposals that actually address the issues of smaller class sizes for our students, class composition guarantees, and minimum levels of specialist teachers who work one-on-one. And we need to see those in the collective agreement.
The BCTF expects to see the government's full updated proposal later today. Almost 50,000 BC healthcare workers have a new deal with help from mediator Vince Reddy. The tentative 5-year contract includes a 5.5% raise. It also limits contracting out and protects benefits. Workers include care aides, ambulance paramedics, and lab workers. Most of them belong to the Hospital Employees Union. It voted 96% in favor of striking 2 weeks ago. The two sides in White Rock's labor dispute have returned to the table, but with little to show for it. Workers say they're frustrated, claiming the city came back to bargaining unprepared and with no proposals to end this dispute. Long-term disability benefits and consistent scheduling are the biggest priorities for the workers. Transit police know their suspect. Now they're trying to find the victim of a possible sexual assault. Police say a known sex offender got onto the SkyTrain at Broadway and Commercial on April 30th. He sat next to a woman and allegedly began groping her while making quacking noises. The man got off in New Westminster while the woman continued to Surrey. She's possibly Aboriginal or Asian, 20 to 25 years old, with shoulder-length black hair worn in a bun. She was pulling a shopping-style cart. An update now on the investigation of a homicide in South Surrey earlier this week. Police now believe the suspect may have switched vehicles. Homicide investigators say Barry McQuarrie may be driving a stolen silver 2008 Toyota Highlander like the one on your screen. The SUV has the BC license plate 338JNP. McQuarrie is wanted in the shooting of 32-year-old Gregor Quinnell outside a Cloverdale townhouse complex on Monday. The next day, police found a stolen Kia SUV on fire they believe he used as a getaway car. It's believed the killing was related to a domestic dispute. Well, the Vancouver Whitecaps aren't back in action for another week, but some eager young soccer players have filled their boots for a little while. More than 800 kids took to the pitch at BC Place for the annual Police Athletic League tournament. The outreach program pairs the VPD and the Vancouver School Board with support from corporate sponsors. It's the tournament's 6th year and the first under the retractable roof at the big stadium. Many of these kids are from lower income communities. Police hope the sports program encourages them to stay away from crime. One last note, the Memorial Cup is about to get underway. You can watch the preview show today on Sportsnet. It gets underway at 10 a.m.